Giving the world new ways to fly is the motivating force behind what's known as NextGen. I'm going to take the next few minutes to talk to you about the FAA's next generation of our air transportation system and its impact on how we fly. First, let's define NextGen further. It's a comprehensive and ongoing transformation of our national airspace system. And it's a continuous rollout of improvements and updates. One major component is moving from a radar-based system to satellite technology, just like GPS in our cars, providing information in real time to pilots in the air and controllers on the ground. It means we are transforming the way we manage air traffic. NextGen allows us to guide and to track air traffic more precisely and efficiently, which reduces aviation's environmental impact, especially with more on-time arrivals and departures. For the passenger, the result will be fewer delays. Travel will be safer and more predictable, with less time sitting on the tarmac and holding in the air. To appreciate the full impact of NextGen, let's look at our air traffic system today. It's the largest and one of the safest in the world, with service provided by both civilian and military air traffic controllers. Consider that at any given moment, there are 5,000 planes in the air, both civilian and military. 689 million passengers flew in 2009, and 36 billion pounds of air cargo are transported each year. Yet air traffic is expected to increase by 50% by the year 2025. NextGen will accommodate this future growth. Looking at aviation's contributions to the U.S. economy, in 1 year alone, 2009, aviation accounted for over 11.5 million aviation jobs, $396 billion in wages, adding $1.3 trillion to our economy. That translates into 5.6% of our nation's GDP, gross domestic product. Despite all these benefits, each one of us deals with the realities of air travel today. We have all experienced sitting in terminals when our flight is delayed, waiting on the tarmac for an available gate, or holding in the air for yet another delay. In fact, at our nation's largest airports, flight delays are a regular occurrence. Over an 18-month period, weather accounted for over 66% of all delays, at a cost of over $2 billion to airlines. And since time is money, those delays added up to more than $9 billion in lost productivity. Plus, aviation has environmental impacts, from noise pollution, petroleum-based fuels, and carbon emissions. That means the challenges ahead are how to increase capacity while assuring safety, how to reduce environmental impacts and still keep aviation's contributions to our economy. Add to that an expected greater mix in the types of aircraft in our airspace, everything from drones to general aviation to commercial spacecraft. Just like the iPhone is changing the way we communicate, NextGen is profoundly changing our ability to communicate in our airspace and with our airports. It will mitigate our environmental impacts and strengthen our collaboration with each other and with international partners. The bottom line is to ensure safety at all times. So let's focus on the benefits to our airspace. Simply put, NextGen will allow more aircraft to safely fly closer together on more direct routes. With new electronic data, pilots will know where they are in relation to other aircraft and the ground, and they'll have access to real-time weather conditions. The same is true for air traffic controllers. It's expected that moving away from voice communication could result in a 20% reduction in en route errors. Plus, new NextGen technologies will allow for more precise flight paths and more efficient and safe use of the airspace, even in the face of weather issues in mountainous terrain. NextGen also means controllers and pilots can make more informed decisions and plan ahead with the same access to real-time weather conditions. And with this ability to avoid major reroutes around severe weather, aircraft will be able to fly the shortest distance between 2 points, with fewer ground delays and reduced fuel costs. In addition, NextGen enhances our national security by giving the military, Homeland Security, and the FAA more effective means of monitoring our airspace. Now, let's talk about the much-needed benefits to airports. As NextGen technologies, standards, procedures, and infrastructure are implemented, maps and digital displays of the airfield will be available to pilots in the cockpit, as well as to ground personnel and air traffic controllers. Screens will show the location of every aircraft and vehicle on airfields, increasing safety on the ground and averting runway incidents. As a result, we'll get better use of airfield capacity. NextGen technologies allow for reduced separation between runways and between planes during takeoffs and landings, while ensuring continued safety. In major metropolitan areas with multiple airports like New York, Chicago, and LA, air traffic congestion and flight delays are common occurrences. NextGen reduces these metro area conflicts with automated departure procedures and taxi instructions. This means fewer delays, less congestion, and maximum use of metro airports. NextGen also offers flexibility in airport design by allowing reduced spacing between parallel runways, which could result in additional flights on new and existing runways with fewer impacts to land use. In addition, these closely spaced runways reduce taxi time, flight delays, fuel consumption, and emissions. As for NextGen's benefits to the environment, they include reducing the use of petroleum-based fuels, CO2 emissions, and noise. It means aviation can be an even better neighbor to surrounding communities. Arrivals will be quieter with less fuel consumed by using minimum power and new aircraft technologies. Two major examples: in 2008, continuous descents in Atlanta saved airlines an average of 38 gallons of fuel per flight and 800 pounds of carbon emissions. In Miami, each flight saved 50 gallons of fuel on average and 1,000 pounds of emissions. To sum up, by the year 2018, assuming an increase in flights, NextGen will reduce growth in flight delays by 21%, CO2 emissions by 14 million tons, and fuel use by almost 1.5 billion gallons. And those are conservative estimates. Finally, it cannot be emphasized enough that from start to finish, NextGen must be a truly collaborative undertaking. To succeed, NextGen must have the support, cooperation, and financial commitment of our key partners in the federal government. NextGen also requires the collaboration and investment by a wide range of participants outside of the federal government, and there are many. With partners from around the world, the FAA is taking a lead to provide seamless and efficient operations across international borders, harmonizing standards, procedures, and policies worldwide to assure efficiency as well as safety. Collaboration within the FAA is key as well. All of our offices and departments need to work together to ensure NextGen's success. In fact, FAA management places a premium on cooperation and coordination inside and outside our Washington headquarters. Our FAA investment in NextGen is a serious commitment by the federal government. So let there be no doubt that NextGen is underway across the country with new programs, procedures, and technologies for air traffic monitoring, communications, navigation, and information sharing. In short, NextGen is all about getting the right information to the right person at the right time. With fewer delays, greater capacity, reduced environmental impacts, and safe as always, NextGen is truly giving the world new ways to fly.